Well, hey everybody. Good to see you again. Here we are. Haas 003112. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Right away, you are just like right on the ball. We just started stream and you're already following. Thank you. Fantastic. And Jessica, thank you. I'm glad you like the opening screen. That's a really fun it was a really fun piece to make, the Hagrid and Harry piece. I really enjoyed it. That's a digital painting. Today, so if you kind of look right there, right here, boop, 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 that is a digital mock-up that we did in Photoshop, and um, and took the drawing from that and have transferred it over to this board. This is a cradled board. Whoop. And it is a 16 by 20 inch board. And today we're going to take this piece to the end and actually use some acrylic underpainting so that we can prepare for oils. So that's kind of what we got going on. Sound good? Let's do it. Let's make it happen. And the whittling is here. Welcome. Good to see ya. How are things going? Feels like I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Just a quick second here. Gotta make a quick adjustment here. Hold on a second. All right, I'm back. Gonna take out the dog and clean cut as well. Actually, no, I just have my hair in a ponytail. Should I take it down? It'll be more natural. Yeah, it's good to see everybody. All right. So what I'm doing here, I'm just going to do an acrylic underpainting. So I took this drawing, transferred it on to the board via an opaque um, projector. Kind of sits over the drawing. I print out a piece of the sketch on a piece of paper from Photoshop, put it in the projector. It projects it onto the board. I take a pencil and I trace out the lines. And then I'm going to take some acrylic paint and with just a little bit of water. We got a new follow, Coffee. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Good to have you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, so what we're going to do here today is I'm just going to start working on, let's see if I can. I'll try to bring things into the frame as much as I can. And I realize that things are pretty bright. And if things are too bright, we can make some adjustments here too as well. Is that easier to see? I can't tell. Is that easier to see for you to be able to see the drawing? I'm not totally sure. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear it, but we have a storm rolling in. And it literally just started as I started to stream. So it is pretty dark. All right, so that was the wrong way. Bring it back up. There we go. I'm just trying to get it so that you can actually see, uh, so that you can see the lines. So that did make it worse. Okay. So is it better now? No. Okay. So it was better how I had it when it was too dark. So it's either bright or it's going to be um, dark, but you can see the lines. That's I think how this is going to work. So right now, this is just getting some line work laid in so that I don't lose um, my drawing at any time as I'm working on that. So that's the reason that I do this underpainting like this. So basically, we're just transferring um, this drawing so that I'll always have it. Because one thing that can be really tough in painting, especially if you like to draw, is the idea of like losing all the work that you've done with um, with the drawing, only to have it just kind of be lost completely. This process of transferring this line can take a while. But I'm gonna try to get the line in and then also do um, some value as well. But I don't want to lose that drawing at all in there. So What is the point of this? Actually, hold on just a second. So this is the drawing that I used to transfer. I'm just going to kind of put that right here so that I can kind of refer to it as needed. Thinking, kind of rethinking what I'm doing here, just as we're sitting here a little bit, thinking about the overall drawing and everything, how I'm feeling about it. Kind of thinking about the transfer too, like overall, how did I feel like the transfer went? Now this acrylic, I'm just thinning it down with water, which I know is a no-no, but hopefully this will help overall. Yeah, part of me thinks, gosh, that I want to work a little bit more on the pencil, get the pencil lines established a little bit more. I know I'm kind of backtracking just a moment, but hold on just a second, back again. So if I do suddenly just leave, it is because of the storm and I just lost power. But yeah, I'm gonna try something here. So I'm switching gears a little bit because I want to make sure of something in regards to my drawing. I wasn't totally happy with the how this is kind of coming together. Drawing wise, that is. So I'm gonna just kind of hit my lines here again and see, just to make sure that kind of everything is making sense. How's everyone doing out there? What is happening? Fine Sunday night. So I'm having to kind of rethink this really quickly. But I don't want to go too far down the road until I know that I'm happy with the way that things are kind of progressing. So transfer process is always a little, I don't know, a little bit lackluster. And so I kind of want to make sure that I am indeed liking what it is that's been made here. So this is a pre-gessoed board, um, which I've typically only gessoed my own boards up until this point, and it has this like really kind of amazing called eggshell finish, which is pretty nice. But it's just it is can be a little bit odd to actually draw on. Drawing on board is always a little, I don't know, it's like always just a little janky to me. Um, like there's it's always got this like kind of weird little feeling to it, that way that it tugs, and I don't know. I've been always been never been like a huge fan of it. Especially, I've really enjoyed drawing on like a Bristol Arches paper that is just, absolutely wonderful to draw on. Way that it, takes the line, and yeah, there we go. Grab and a pencil sharpener. Witherling, it is great to see you as well. What has been happening? What's been going on in your world? Absolutely no need for apologies. It's just great to have you here when you're here. Um, New work opportunities occupied my time for a month and it took a bit of a hiatus. It's cool. So do you want to share what you're working on or what's kind of what's happening? Someone commissioned me for a short comic. Oh, fantastic. Okay, cool. Yeah. I am glad to hear that you got a comic project working. Have you done much for comics before? I don't remember seeing comic work in your portfolio, but maybe you have. And Sarah's here. Hi, Sarah. How are you, my dear? Welcome to the stream. We are finally on board, Sarah. Look at this. Getting ready for oils. Can you believe it? I started doing a little bit of acrylic, but now I'm kind of working backwards just a little bit here. I'm wondering why I cannot. Yeah. There we go. They gave you a shot. That's really good news. I'm really glad to hear that they gave you a shot. Yeah, so I'm transferring it over. It's acrylic underpainting, um, and then I'm gonna do uh, the rest in oils. So yeah, it's a little crazy, but we do crazy here. That's what we do. Well, it's good to have you here, Sarah. You've been such a gem during this streaming. This is I know it's not for everybody to sit and watch someone draw and fight with um their art. You've been just so kind to come. Spent the day cheering for a full Ironman triathlon. It's astounding. My goodness. Who who was it? Was Perry in it or? Excuse me. Trying to keep everything. Oh, that was loud. I'm sure it was horrible on your end. I'm so sorry about that. All I did was slide my palette and it did that. I'm so sorry. Just trying to move things over so that you can see. Do you have a new setup? I see weird lighting in the background. Are you talking about this guy right here? Um, so, so this is actually, it's just a grid that goes over the light so it doesn't spill everywhere. I had it on for a different project and I just didn't take it off. Um, it kind of helps keep the light from going places you don't want it to go. Um, and I thought I would see if it would help tonight. But the only thing is it kind of brings the whole power of the I'll be right back, guys. 1 second. And I'm back. Jessica, yes, I am going traditional for sure. We are going acrylic underpainting with oils on top. It's going to be just insane. Oh yeah, no new studio, not yet. Maybe one day we'd have a new studio. When we bought this house, we were looking specific for a place that had something that would work for my art. And for whatever reason, the person who owned this didn't really. I can't remember if they didn't list this room or didn't really say much about it. I think they were just storing their bike in it. And so I've spent some time getting it transitioned to a studio space. But it was great. It was actually a hair salon. I seriously, behind me, where I'm sitting right now, were the sinks for washing out hair and all that, and washing out color and all that, all that jazz. And so we just took out the sinks and then slowly made it into the studio. So, hey, Joel, welcome. Now I can wash out my brushes. Absolutely. What's Joel got going on tonight? So I have an opaque project for those of you who are just coming in now. Yeah, I have an opaque projector downstairs, and that's I just painted what you see kind of right here, right here. I just I had isolated, so just had the line drawing like this. Boom. Why so things here? The line drawing here, and then use that to transfer downstairs. The opaque projectors are great. Um, really love them. Joel's doing some ocean animals tonight. So we're both got ocean themes tonight, that's for sure. That's pretty awesome. What'd you guys think of the having it kind of mixing up a little bit and doing some traditional and um, digital in there instead of it always being traditional work? You know what? Oh, I'm an idiot. Hold on. See if I can. Oh, I have a Zoom. Sarah's gonna be like, he had a Zoom this whole time. He had a Zoom this whole time. So the Witherling likes both. Okay, that's cool. That's cute. But the problem is I have to kind of only draw where you can see me now. So hopefully this won't go badly. Sarah, I'm so sorry. She's always so nice about, hey, Nicholas, is it possible to zoom in? Nobody can see what you're working on. Oh my goodness. A new follower, Budaria. Welcome. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to this family of artists and art lovers and good people and quality human beings who are here um, to hang out together. So we are talking quite a bit about um, the I'm sorry, I'm not talking. I'm thinking a lot about doing some multiple streaming days, and so I have been streaming during the day. Started doing Mondays and Wednesdays now. Welcome, new person. Yes, so I am also on Behance right now. That chat is not funneled into if you're on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook. So if you're on any of those, you're not going to see the restream the Behance chat, unfortunately, and that's just because of some technical reasons. But yeah, we have a couple people. At least I know that Jessica is here and a few others, but I don't know who they are. We got 25 people on Behance. That's really fun. Good to have you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna try to zoom out just a little bit, Sarah. Oh my goodness. So ridiculous. Is that better? Experiment with a little bit of different mark making here. As I go through on this piece. It's always good to just try to keep things relatively fresh, even though I don't seem to have problems with that right now in my artistic journey. I'm trying new things all the time, and we continue just to plow ahead in new adventures. So, but I did start doing a little bit of acrylic, so you'll see that here. But I'm kind of pushing back and going back to the drawing phase because I wanted to try something, and I'm just kind of rethinking it. Oh yeah, so I have a little sharpener right here. Beep 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 beep. What are these two? But it's kind of cool. So this is like takes me back to my old school drawing days, and I love these coal erase colored pencils. Um, and I draw them all the way. I mean, I sharpen them all the way down. Isn't that silly? And then this is just a little pencil holder. And so what you can do is you kind of just shove it in there, and then you can sharpen it all the way down and still be able to hold on to it. I mean, especially when I was drawing a lot, I would go through, I would go through tons of pencils. And so the simple thing of like using them all the way down to their stubs is important. Be right back. Hold on. Determine how much you should charge for a piece. For example, if you made a piece that only took you a day or two to create, or if you're oil painting and glazing for weeks on end, that's probably going to determine or affect the overall pricing of a piece. Now, of course, the time it takes me to make art is going to be so different than how long it's going to take for you to create an art piece. So I can't really tell you this is how much time it should take you to create a piece. I just want you to be tracking your own time so you can have an understanding of what that actually looks like for you. The second reason it's important for you to track your time is for juggling multiple projects. If a client comes and asks you to do a piece and you're already working on a project, how will you know how much time you're going to be able to devote to creating that piece, or if you're going to be able to get it done on time. Meeting deadlines is super important. And if a client says, hey, I need it by this date, or a publisher says, this is the timeline for our project, you're going to have to be able to make that deadline. And if you don't know how long it takes you to make the piece, how can you say, hey, I'll have it done by then? When you're juggling multiple pieces, it's really. All right, thanks a lot. Thanks for writing. And yeah, I do sharpen quite a bit. And I always tell the same stories about why I sharpen. So if you're like, oh gosh, here he goes again, that is why. So a number of years ago, I took a trip. Took a trip to England with my mom. It's wonderful, wonderful time. And we went and saw Leonardo da Vinci's sketchbook, his sketches, because I really love his work. And the guy's a genius. I mean, he'd have like a perfectly drawn arm or chest or torso, or the anatomy perfect, and then next to it would be like a tank. It was pretty insane. So the guy, I think, was pretty insane. And I noticed about his mark making that's kind of stayed with me this whole time I've been kind of on this journey of making art, was that his pencil marks were always very, very fine. And you could tell that he sharpened his pencil very often. Caravaggio is amazing work too. Amazing. Yeah. So I am, for the moment, holding off on the acrylic painting portion of this and just finishing and getting a better, stronger drawing. And I just wasn't happy with how it was going or how it was looking. And so that's what we're doing here tonight. Jessica, you still with us? You still hanging out? I'm just looking at something really quick here for some reference. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to render this drawing out a little bit more, and then use like a, a spray fixative of some sort to seal the drawing. So what's cool about having this really strong drawing underneath is then while I'm painting, while I'm doing the actual act of painting, I can always wipe away what I'm working on and have my drawing there. Um, you don't want to just lose the drawing, the all the work that you've done on a drawing or setting up, you know, for the drawing. And as I'm, as things are progressing with this, I'll be pushing the values more, kind of keep the values a little bit more together. The darks won't be quite as dark and the highlights won't be quite as high. So we keep it down and then we expand the dynamic range as we bring out the saturation. Kind of should all happen together. This will eventually be completely covered up, but it's the guide that helps us know where we're going. Can you guys hear me all right with this setup? Loud and clear. Okay, good, good, good. Just making sure. Wishing it wasn't quite so hard to see what it is that I'm working on. It was just a little bit easier, you know? What's nice about working digitally then is I can just, zoom in. I don't have to worry about the camera as much, at least. And drawing on this board is actually really nice, consider how smooth it is. I mean, it's very, very smooth. I'm interested to know what kind of mechanical bond the oils will have to it. So the reason I've kind of not necessarily abandoned, but pulled back on doing the acrylic, is I think with these other pieces that I had worked on, I think I had rushed this portion of it, and I think I'm going to be happy to have this stronger drawing. But it's for anybody, who's been following this process, you definitely know that it has been a journey of me figuring out what I want to do and what works best. And so, for example, like this piece is an experiment with a new surface that I'm working on. If I do get off of the out of the camera, someone yell. Ba-da-boo-boo-boo-boo. One of the things that I think is fun about working on a creature like this is that you start to kind of get to know it a little bit more. You start to see it for what it is, and I think that can be pretty amazing. And just trying to draw it like oh man, this thing is actually really beautiful. And all the different curves and twists and just how it can fit into these insanely small spaces, I think is just an incredible part of this creation. It's just really. I wonder, see, like right now, how well does a kneaded eraser work on this? Oh, wonderfully. Okay. Well, that's really good to know. It's a little awkward to draw on these cradled boards. I'm discovering that now. So this is, as you can see, a pretty large piece, and the drawing phase of this is going to take quite some time. But I'm going to be very happy. I had considered if the acrylics didn't work, like kind of how they are going right now, that I would maybe just actually do the underpainting completely in oils. So depending on how things kind of go here, um, that may be a viable thing that actually happens here. So, but like I said, this is just a constant experimentation. And that's because it's not client work. I don't experiment when I have client work, I experiment on my own projects. Joel, how is Ocean Animals going tonight? Another reason I kind of want to keep helping you understand why in the world I'm making the decisions that I'm making. Um, and that is really because there is, this idea that I I'm just a drawer. Ultimately, that's really what I like to do. I like to see and experience things um, from a drawing standpoint. And so my paintings, my illustrations have always kind of been around and structured with a drawing and not necessarily a value piece. Like they wouldn't work without the drawing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Joel says he's in a slow phase for ocean animals. Okay. I don't know. Well, at least you're not live streaming this phase. Sometimes like I feel like there are certain phases of what I'm working on that is just so slow. And I'm out of camera. All right. I may have to boop boop boop. I have to zoom out just a little bit. Just because I actually can't, it's not a fluid head. I can't like necessarily tilt it too well here on without it going berserk. Like drawing on the surface actually. I'm not quite sure how they get it so smooth. But it's really smooth. It's a really smooth surface. One of the things that sometimes I ask myself when I'm you know, working on a piece like this, it's like, man, why didn't I just go from get a sketch and then start painting? Like all this time drawing and redrawing, and I have to remind myself that of the reasoning sometimes. Like every time you redraw it, every time you work it out, you're working out problems. And cheers to my instructor, Natalia, who reminded me that she would remind me, she probably still would remind me that if there's a problem in the drawing phase, it will be there the whole time. In the sense of like, if you have a problem with the drawing and you don't fix it, it'll just, it says, drawing encompasses line, shape, gesture, composition. And if there's a problem in that drawing and you don't address it, it's just going to continue. And sometimes it's easy to be like, well, I'll fix it later. Or I don't know how to fix it. That's kind of sometimes what happens to me. It's like, I don't know how to fix it. And so then I put it off. But the problem's still there. The problem that you see as the artist is still present. It's going to take a little bit of practice to draw on this. I feel like after this piece, I'm going to be seeing like these tentacles in my sleep. Yeah, I'm just constantly sharpening. You might see the end of this pencil tonight. Who knows? This place lives in your mind rent free. It totally does. What can be hard sometimes is that I will try to fix a piece while I'm laying in bed in my head. Be like, oh, that's what I have to do. There we go. Gosh, we're really cruising on this actually. I mean, it's not going like crazy. It's not going fast. It's going faster than I maybe thought it would. Excuse me. What's everyone else working on tonight? You're calling a tarot card. Oh, no, oh, nice. Just doing some art for some friends. How often do you end up making art for your friends with their lean? Oh, you draw together. Oh, that's fun. I think it's so cool that you have stream going too. Thanks for the radio the day, by the way. That was really cool. The painting, yes, will be up for sale. The original and the prints. Which is kind of one of the reasons why I'm doing this. Well, one of the reasons why I'm doing this in a traditional medium is so that I can eventually sell it. I'm really glad I stopped. I'm liking this so much better than what I was doing here. It's not whatever in the world that was. Yeah, so this is not a commission. It is just a piece I'm doing for myself, for my own enjoyment. So well, it's really nice of you to say, Adeline. I appreciate it. I'm trying to stream a little bit more, and I'm not really quite sure why we're not able to get things going a little bit more. I mean, I've been streaming for a while now, but Just maybe need to stream a little bit more regularly or something. I don't know. Not really sure how to crack it. But luckily, I mean, I do have some friends watching this, and that's really encouraging. And I appreciate that a lot. And I'm just making art for, I'm just doing my thing, and nice to have some people watching and be, be a part of it. So those of you who are here, I appreciate you a lot. It's great. Sarah asks, which is her nickname for which is cute. Is the part you wished you would have spent more time? I got a new follower, Bershura. Welcome, nice to have you. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Is it the part you wish you had spent more time on the Shire painting? Absolutely. And I think my hope is that by doing it this way, um, ultimately it's going to go faster. There's going to be less issues going forward. And so, but the way that I had prepped my surface didn't allow me to draw. It wasn't smooth enough. This is an eggshell finish that I actually just slightly sanded. And so yes, I really wish I had done this for the Shire piece. You don't have to do any sort of drawing. You can, before you start, you can just go right into it. But what I realized is that I'm trying to figure out what works kind of best for me, and yeah, for my process. And so that's why we're doing it this way. I think just accepting ultimately that what I really like to do, and what my favorite part is actually drawing. And so even as I'm kind of painting, I'm drawing. And my paintings still have line work in them and all sort of ridiculousness that's not allowed. This acrylic's just going to sit here and dry up on me. Okay. I think for a lot of things that I've, kind of worked on in the past, I've struggled to like it in the same way that other people do. For example, um, a lot of people just really, really love drawing on painting on canvas, and even going through art school, it was. I mean, through I didn't go through art school. I went through an art program. Um, if you went into painting and you did a painting class, you were given canvas and you paint on the canvas. And the other options weren't even there. There wasn't another option to do. You couldn't paint on a board like this. And so I just had to, for my own self, just figure out what I like. And it's still here I am all these years later, still trying to figure it out, which is fine. That's what we got to do. I did take my digital painting a little bit further than I wanted to. But I didn't take the drawing aspect of it far enough. If that makes sense. So like the actual colors and all that kind of stuff. I didn't take quite as far, but it is funny now that I used to start traditionally and I would end in digital, and now I'm starting digital and I'm ending traditional. I'm still on a Good Earth sweet and spicy, and for some reason this one, like for me, the steep doesn't matter. Most teas, I have to steep it properly. I set a timer, do the whole thing. But not with sweet and spicy. I don't know what it is. Um, when Flan comes on, he's just appalled. Just appalled that I would be steeping my teeth this long. So don't let him know. I don't want to disappoint him any further. I'll be right back. Thank you for letting me know I was drawing off screen. I appreciate that. Kind of zoomed out all the way. It's my setup. I can't get that far. I need to probably fix that. Partially because I have this leg in the way. It's not a great setup. It really isn't. But fortunately, I can go this way and then zoom in, which will be better. All right, all right. Okay. Sometimes you got to just take a look at the whole piece, see where things are sitting. Can't quite fit the whole thing on the screen, but. We're coming. We're starting to move down. Starting to move down. Margaret, thanks for the share. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Very nice of you. Let's see some octopus drawing here. Oh, my goodness. I am so glad so glad that I did this drawing. Sometimes I have to make those decisions on the fly. Luckily, the acrylic that I was doing, it's no problem. We can come back. I can fix that. It's not going to permanently do anything to the piece at all. Primarily because everything that you see right now will be covered up. So tell me a little bit, guys, what's been going on this weekend for you guys. We had a party, P-A-R-T-Y. I don't know why I said that way. Sorry. For my wife. It's the most beautiful 40-year-old I know. She turned 40 twice last year and then now again this year. And just had a great day celebrating her. And we had smoked salmon and stuffed peppers, and it was good. It was a really I must have passed a threshold in my life because I really enjoy smoking meats now. So I don't know what that means for my life. She doesn't count, let her know I said happy. I will, Margaret. Thank you. Thank you, Margaret. It's very nice of you. Artist and the pitmaster. Not a pitmaster, would like to be one. But I'm aspiring both. Margaret, how are you doing? What's happening? I appreciate the share and the hello. Stopping and saying hello. Okay, before we start on our dude here, I am gonna get some stuff done over on this side over here. But sure I'm not drawing off screen again. Do, 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 do. I've noticed that smoked salmon is a, got another follow here. Capsule, thank you. Thanks for the love on the project I was working on. So those of you who are new to the stream, I am working on this right here. Beep beep beep. This is a digital comp of what's now going to be a traditional piece in oils. So yes, I sell my digital arts as prints. You can just go to Etsy and search Nicholas Jackson, or go to tallfoxstudios.com, and you can see my Etsy store there. If you follow me on Instagram, in my bio, there's a link, and it'll take you to my Etsy store as well. So I used to be able to. I had a great printer for a while. I could do clay prints as well. But that one decided that it, after quite a few years of good service, decided that it was no longer going to be on my side. So yeah, and it's kind of fun to sell the digital pieces. I mean, that's always been really, really fun. Um, I I'm also opening a store on my website as well, but that one is going to be mostly for my traditional pieces. So I kind of started a store on that as well, but I think it's technically up and running, but I have lots of prints sitting downstairs ready to be sold. I even did Christmas cards a long time ago. That was fun. And Mother's Day cards and things like that. So, yeah. I've also tried selling them on other things, other like Redbubble and things like that, but that's never really gone anywhere. So I'm just bringing it up on my phone, some of my references as well. So I'm kind of going all over, keeping working on different areas at a time. I want to too stuck in one area, but then also I don't want to void areas either. Now this whole tentacle is right behind the deep sea diver, so I'm not going to detail it out too much really. All right, Sarah, thank you so much for coming tonight. Good to have you as always. Much love to you, and thank you for your support. We'll see you next. We'll see you next time. Sharp. Gosh, I know I said it before, but man, am I so glad that I switched over to drawing rather than doing the acrylic thing, whatever in the world that was. It's like I was like, this is a mistake I've made before. I'm doing the same mistake. So sometimes you gotta just. So I did a little bit there, but pay no attention. We'll get there. Expecting the drawing phase of this will take about 4 hours. Seeing how things are going now. At least that's what I'm guessing as far as time. All right, man, we are just really making progress on that guy. I do have some bubbles in this piece. A little bit here, and I'll have some more there. I'm not really drawing though. I probably should. The bubbles coming out of the chest. And I do have up in this spot some some jellyfish. I do have some marine life here that I need to probably get some bigger reference for and get those taken care of here. But yeah, we've had a really good run tonight. Thanks for the the new people especially who have come out be part of the stream. It's really good to have some new friends in the chat. Appreciate that a lot. What this is also helping me do is because as you can see, I'm doing a little bit. I mean, not a lot. It's just of value, just to kind of my keep that in mind as I'm going. I want value to be left behind completely. I mean, there are times where it's like you just got to work on the drawing and get that sorted out. Um, but because I am painting, this is not a line drawing. I do need to have some sort of sense of value as I go along. I'm just pulling up a little bit of reference here that I got before. Sweet. So I think we got to a good spot on this stream, and I think we're in a good spot to be able to stop and kind of eventually come back to this. Iquan Jones, thanks for the follow very much. I appreciate it, and I hope you come back for the next part of this, where we're going to continue to kind of work towards this comp right here. It's on the screen, and right now we're just making it. That's going to be our guide, and we're just going to use that to keep pushing us forward and onward and upward. So yeah, thanks so much for being a part of the stream tonight. It's really great to have each and every one of you. It's really nice, especially to our new friends on Behance who are part of this stream. So thank you so much for joining me, and I really wish you guys all the best. Remember that you are loved, that you are important, you matter a lot, and I hope to see you next time. So thanks a lot, and I'll be streaming probably Monday. So probably tomorrow and probably Wednesday as well. So see you guys later. Have a great night. Bye bye.